So look, I'm up this morning. It's Saturday. It's early. I'm like, okay, this is going to be a nice day. Have a nice cup of coffee, relax, and just chill. Got on my nice to the moon and back pajamas, right? It's going to be a beautiful, relaxing day. So I'm scrolling on my phone like you do when you get up. And I was like, what interesting true crime is here? Couldn't find anything that I didn't already know about. I was like, look at me, all knowledgeable and knowing stuff. So I jump over to my, you know how on YouTube you have the, like, you could save things to watch later? Well, I'll save things to watch later and entirely forget they're there. So today I'm like scrolling through and there's this one video. Ciao. I thought it was about a one story. It was about a totally different, totally crazy story. And I was like, oh, I need to talk to my true crime friends. Where is my, let me pull myself together so I can go talk to my true crime friends about Miss Taylor Parker. Parker? I think that's her last name. Listen. This lady lives in Texas, right? Down there in some little small town, only like 4,000 people. I think it's 4,000 people on this block. Okay, not really, but that's a really small town. So the cops do a routine traffic stop, and they're like, oh, this lady is driving erratically. She's speeding. Let's pull her over and check her out. Also, ticket money, because what nice police officer doesn't like ticket money, right? So they pull her over, and they were like, this lady is covered in blood and scratches, and there's a newborn baby in the car with her. So they were like, ma'am, are you okay? And she was like, oh, I just gave birth on the side of the road. I need to go to the hospital. And they were like, oh, goodness, of course we'll help you. They put her in an ambulance. She's like, but I will only go to this very specific hospital, not the closest one to me. No, we don't need none of that. I need this very specific one that's around an hour away. And they were like, okay. So they take her to this very specific hospital. No idea. It's still unclear why she wanted to go to that hospital. So they take her in and they're examining the baby and they're working on the baby. And then they're like, okay, so you just gave birth. Let's give you a nice hospital gown. We want to do a physical exam to make sure that you're not like bleeding or hemorrhaging or anything. And she was like, oh, no, I'm good. They were like, wait, what now? And she was like, yeah, I had my baby on the side of the road, but I'm fine. If I could just, if you could just check out the baby, then we'll just be taking our things and going. And the cops were like, okay, do you want to call somebody to be with you? They do everything they can to stall this lady, right? Meanwhile, back an hour away in the town that she was coming from, a lady was found dead in her house. And so people were like, oh, why is this lady dead? And why is she covered in scratches and scrapes or whatever? So I was like, wait, let me read the title of this video. What in the world am I watching? Turns out what I'm about to watch is a confession video. So I was like, oh, I love a confession, especially if it's not coerced, because here at Gossip Room and Innuendo, we do not believe in coerced confessions. Shout out to Brandon Dassey. So anyway, I'm like, okay, let me see how she's going to explain this. Because listen, I have children. I am the mother of many, many thousands of children. It's only 4, but it feels like thousands. So I was like, your kids will come up with a good story for why they did something. So I'm like, okay, Taylor, tell us what happened today. So this is Taylor's story of what happened. First, she was like, I didn't hurt that lady. Taylor girl, what lady you talking about if you just had your baby on the side of the road? So she was like, see, what had happened was I was her photographer. You can't even trust your photographers now? Turns out that's not true. You can't trust crazy people, but photographers are probably safe. So she was like, yeah, I did her engagement photo shoot. I think she also shot this lady's wedding. And then she did like her maternity shoot, like very lovely, very nice stages of life kind of things. So she's like, I went over there and she and I were talking and we got into an argument. And I'm like, okay, I'm following you. And she said, and she started saying I was a liar and she was pushing me and scratching me. And we got into a big argument. And I'm like, okay, I see where this is going. And she's like, and I pushed her. She smacked me. And I was like, okay, girl, this is not a telenovela. Calm down. But go on with your lie, because now I know it's going to be a good story. I want to hear what this is going to be. According to Taylor, this is what happened. She had an argument with this lady that was her friend, more like an associate. More like her murderer now, but like at the time, she was like, she started calling me a liar and she was pushing and scratching me. And we got into an argument and it became physical and she bumped her head and she died. And the cop was like, right. How did the baby get out of her though? And she was like, oh, I was pregnant. That was my baby. And the officer was like, okay, so we pulled all the records and we know you had a hysterectomy. And I was like, oh, so where was she? How was she going to explain this baby? Turns out Miss Taylor has a new boyfriend, relatively new. And I guess she wanted to keep him very badly. So she told him she was pregnant. Like some people do, not me, but like some people do. So I'm like, okay, I'm not with you, but okay, keep talking. And so she faked a pregnancy for 8 months. Now, for about half that time, you could just eat some extra burritos and say like, ooh, I'm fat. But that last half, that's real hard to fake. And I don't know about you, but every time I was pregnant, I would fall asleep. And my husband would play with the baby, like meaning I'm trying to get some rest because I'm exhausted in building a human being. And he would uncover my belly and put his mouth right up against the baby and sing and talk and read stories and do all these things. Drove me crazy. And I was like, get off of me. I'm trying to sleep. He's like, I'm not bothering you. I'm just playing with the baby. The baby is inside of me. Leave me alone. So anyway. And you know, I get distracted. So she was like, so she got really mad at me. Now, this is what Taylor says happened between her and this other lady. She got really mad at me and she pulled out a knife and we had a fight and she stabbed me. You see, there's a little poke right here on my hand. And I'm like, Taylor, that lady's cut wide open. So what you trying to say? She was like, and she fell on the knife and she bumped her head and she was dying. And so she knew she was dying. And so she said, Taylor, please, I'm not going to last, but please save my child. I want you to have him. Call me crazy. That is not the first thing that I would have been thinking. That is not the first thing I would have said. Taylor girl with the hysterectomy where you've been faking a pregnancy for 8 months, you a lying sack of sugar. I can tell. I'm just sitting here looking at you and I can tell. And she was like, officer, I don't know what's wrong with me. There's something very wrong with me. Oh, well, that is probably the first truthful thing you said since you've been sitting here, Miss Taylor, with the hysterectomy and the baby that's not yours. And so they were like, she's like, but I think the baby is mine because she said I could have it. But then I came here and the nurse took my baby away. Ma'am, what you're not going to do is call that your baby because it's not your baby. You kidnapped a baby and you killed a person. So I'm going to need you to stop crying for yourself and worried about like what might be wrong with you and tell us the truth so we have all the evidence that we need to put you in prison forever. So please keep talking. So they got all kinds of body cams and stuff. And she was like, yeah, so the baby fell out of her. And the officer was like, it fell out of her? She was like, After I took the knife and helped it come out, then it fell right out. It was right there in my hands. And she said she wanted me to have it. So I just took it and I wrapped it up and I brought it to the hospital. My boyfriend's going to be here soon. Can I come home soon? I just need to relax. You know, I have 2 kids and I'm tired and I'm this and I'm that. Taylor girl, I'm going to need you to focus. I'm going to need you to focus on the judicial system. Girl, you in Texas. I wouldn't speed in Texas. They might shoot you in Texas for jaywalking and you out here murdering people and stealing people's baby. Girl, you should have known. If you was born and raised in Texas, especially in a small town, one of the photo shoots that Miss Taylor did for this woman and her fiance in the pregnancy shoot, you see the lady, she's beautiful, she's pregnant, a white flowing gown. Oh, she looks lovely. And her boyfriend, husband, fiance, whatever he is, he's standing behind her. He's cupping her stomach. He has a gun on his hip. No. You know church ladies carry guns in Texas. They keep them right under their wig. You see a lady with a lumpy wig, don't say nothing. She might shoot you. I'm saying, hey, Texas friends, y'all are my favorite. So, Miss Taylor ends up going to jail as expected because she literally got away with this crime for like 15 minutes. This is what is amazing to me. Now, listen. I'm a planner. And if I was going to do a crime, I would like to think that I would plan how am I going to decide what crime to commit, how I'm going to do the crime, and then how I'm going to get away with it. That's the most important part. If you do a crime and you only out for 10 minutes, you might as well have just kept your behind home and lived without the whatever the thing is that you went and did. You stole something, you could have just left that bag of chips right there on the shelf instead of now you got to go to court and it's 3 years later and you still trying to deal with the shoplifting charge, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? But she didn't get away with this crime for any period of time. How about this? Try just not driving erratically. You could have just kept the speed limit and stayed in your lane. The cops never would have pulled you over. Taylor, not only is there something wrong with you on many, many levels, you're not even a good planner. You can't. There's not like a file of facts, an app in your phone or something you could have used. I mean, start by not being a murderer. Start there. Start by not lying and saying you're pregnant after you had a hysterectomy. But even if you do all those things, girl, you needed a better plan. But you know what? The plan that you enacted worked out just fine, because now she's sitting over there on Texas death row. I'll bet she feels so sorry for herself. These women, both of these women had young children. It is a sin and a shame. But this case to me was fascinating, mostly for the confession, but also because I'm like, Taylor girl, this was a terrible, terrible plan. So I need to go cook my husband breakfast. I have a speaking engagement this morning. Child, it's a busy, busy day here at the Gossip World headquarters. But in the meantime, I hope y'all having a nice, relaxing Saturday. You put your feet up, have a cool drink or something like that. Work in your garden, do whatever you do. And I will talk to you soon. Wait. Like this video. Don't forget to, I should say it at the beginning, right? I have to, you know what? There's a note right up there above my desk that says like and subscribe, but my contact lenses are not in, so I can't really see it. So you know how I do. But like this video, if you like this video. If you don't like this video, then okay, thank you so much for stopping by and watching this whole foolishness that I call a YouTube channel. Also subscribe to the channel and tell a friend. Okay, now you can go and have a great day. Get out of here. Go on. Talk to you later. Bye.